All right, good evening and welcome to the January 6th, 2020, 6:30 school committee meeting. I call the meeting to order. It is 6:30. This meeting is being both audio and videotaped this evening. And I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call to my left, please. Yeah.
Sophia Iacobucci, student representative.
Bill Fonseca.
Rich Ficero.
Sarah Trulio.
Gregory Thompson.
Gordon Smith, Superintendent of Schools.
Antonella Urshela.
Pamela Blair, Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Kathy Saletti, recording secretary.
Thank you all. We have some
I
minutes.
make a motion to amend the agenda
Oh.
and to add 5.2.5 ELEEF grant.
Motion has been made to modify the agenda
Second.
and seconded. Discussion. It is of urgency. I know it's not on the original agenda, but in order to deposit the funds and use them this school year, time is of the essence. We will bring back next meeting the specifics on the grants that were awarded. Very generous grants by ELEEF. Okay. Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That motion carries 5-0. That will be 5.2.5. We have now we have approval of minutes, please.
Make a motion to approve the minutes, regular session meeting minutes of December 16th, 2019.
Motion's been made.
Second.
And seconded. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That carries 5-0. Committee and subcommittee communications. Sophia, please.
I don't really have that much for everyone today, but
Okay.
we're just coming back off of break, and I guess we have midterms coming up next week.
I saw session 2 end soon.
Yeah.
It's on the TV screens.
Yeah,
Yep.
I saw that too.
The countdown.
Yeah, so I guess everyone's just preparing for that.
Great. Okay, thank you. Bill?
Okay, just a quick update. As I mentioned at a previous meeting, Andy Churchill, the Executive Director of the Lower Pine Valley Educational Collaborative, will be leaving effective next Friday, and the board meets next week to hopefully firm up a timeline for searching and hiring his replacement. That will keep everybody updated as we progress through that.
Okay, thank you. Rich?
I went to a couple of athletic events and my jinx continued. But the reason I bring it up though is that there was a lot of parents discussing with excitement the new high school.
Good.
Good.
So a lot of positive comments.
Great. Sarah?
I just want to thank the girls varsity basketball team. They've been attending the biddy ball sessions for some of our 4 to 6 year olds in town, and our daughter participates in that. So there's been about 2 varsity players every Saturday morning at 8:30, helping the 4 to 6 year olds in town hone their basketball skills. So
good.
it's another nice opportunity to see that collaboration between the high school and some of our youngest kids.
And at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they stay for 2 sessions, so 8:30
Cool.
to 9:30 and then 9:30 to 10:30. So that's great.
Great. Good. Good group of players. Antonella?
ELEAF Gala is February 8th. And they're celebrating their 25th anniversary.
How many? What name was how many?
25th.
25th. Wow.
Yeah,
Tickets are available through the website,
yes.
eleaf.org, O-R-G. Okay. I think, is it?
Yeah.
It is Antonella.
Well, you're the one who said it.
I'll say it with confidence, that's right. Tickets are available through eleaf.org. Okay, thank you all. Moving on, superintendent's report. We have a gift for Coca-Cola.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
Yeah, please.
All right, so the first one is Birchland Park, a $63 donation from Coca-Cola from the staff vending machine. So, want to approve that one first?
I make a motion to approve the gift from the Coca-Cola for $63 to Birchland Park Middle School gift fund.
Motion has been made and
Second?
seconded. Discussion. Do we know the annual take on that? Like what percentage that is? Any idea?
I do not, but I could find that out.
Sorry, I just want to know how much soda we're buying.
Just
Just being nosy, sorry.
How much
I know it's just
Coca-Cola we
faculty.
buying?
I'm just faculty, I know.
Jess, the back.
Okay,
Okay, so the next one is.
You gotta vote.
We gotta
I'm
vote.
sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
My fault. Motion has been made and seconded, discussion, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay, that carries 5-0. Thank you. Pam?
Thank you. The next one is again from Birchland Park, and this is from Grin and Barrett, $2,744.05. This is for the Fall Commission school pictures, and again, this goes back into the school gift account to be used for the students.
$2,700? Just for Birchland?
That's correct.
They must clean house on that, huh?
They get a percentage back of how many pictures they
Yeah, but if that's 10%, well, I mean, what are they giving back? 20%? Maybe.
That'd be high.
That'd be high, so
That would be high.
10%, they're making $27,000 just on Birchland Park, just if that's 10%.
Pictures
I know,
are
right?
business.
And they're
Holiday season.
expensive.
They are
Pictures
expensive.
are expensive too,
Yeah.
so.
Cool, okay, that's a very generous of them to give that back. I have a motion, do I have one?
Nope.
I'll take one.
Move to approve the Birchland Park gift donation from Grin and Barrett in the amount of...
27,4405.
That works.
Motion's been made
Second?
and seconded, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That carries 5-0.
Okay. And the next one is a $500 donation to Birchland Park for use from Premier Source Credit Union to be used for Youth Safety Committee.
Nice.
Premier Source has done this the last 3 years, I believe, which is really generous of them.
It is.
Yeah.
It's enabled us to basically, as a youth safety committee, be self-sufficient in terms of putting on our events and having some type of supplies and refreshments and so forth.
They're very supportive of the schools. I have a member there, and if you go in there, you'll see in the video,
Oh,
all
yeah.
pictures of the school, the schools and
they've been
the students
fantastic.
and all that.
Right.
They're very supportive.
Do any of the events that the Youth Safety Committee runs acknowledge like, this consistent?
Well, one, we're acknowledging it right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
But we did go take a picture, and I think
nice.
that's going in the reminder.
Oh, great.
With them over at Premier Source.
Excellent.
And if we don't, and I'm not sure that, I think we have announced at different times, but we will announce at our next event. It's a good point.
I am looking for a motion to accept, please.
I'll make
Move
the
to approve the
motion.
Birchland Park gift donation for Premier Source for the Youth Safety Committee in the amount of $500.
Motion's been made
We'll second it.
and seconded, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That carries 5-0.
Great. Okay, the next one is for Mountain View School, and this is from Grin and Barrett, $1,642.47 from the Fall Commission. And again, this will go into their gift account to be used for the students at Mountain View.
Can I get that photography contract? Very generous of them, though, very generous to you. Motion, I'll take a motion, please.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to accept the gift donation from Grin and Barrett to the Mountain View Gift Fund in a total of $1,642.47.
Motion has been made
Second.
and seconded, further discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That is unanimous as well. One more.
Great, and so the last one, which was amended, and I thank you very much, because that check did not come in until Friday afternoon. So again, I thank you for amending the agenda, and that's the e-leaf check for $35,139.64. So I can get that deposited to be used.
Great.
I'll make a motion to
Accept?
accept the e-leave check in the total amount of $35,139.64 to be deposited into our revolving account.
Yes, the e-leaf grant.
Motion has been made
Second.
and seconded by Antonella. Further discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That carries 5-0. Moving on to new business, 7.1, memorandum of understanding with Unit A. We did discuss this in executive session.
2 sections that are being revised, one regarding vacancies, and then one regarding the nurse leader.
Okay. So I will entertain a motion to approve that. please.
Move to approve the MOU with Unit A as presented.
Motion has been made
Second?
and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That carries 5-0. Amendment to high school music department field trip on April 2020, in April 2020.
So this is an amendment, it's a cover letter that is from Mr. Page, acting principal at East Long Meadow High School. If you recall, we had approved, I think at the end of the year last year, a music trip for our chorus to go to Philadelphia. There was going to be a 3 to 4 day trip going into the April break. They did not get enough people signing up for that, so they ended up canceling that. And then this is a smaller trip going into New York City, similar to one that they took probably 2 years ago, where they had gone into New York City and not only saw a show, but I think at the time they were able to do some things backstage at the beginning of the day. I don't know that they have that same opportunity this time. But, so they've amended their trip and are hoping to get your approval to do it on April 8th. So it'll be a one-day field
So
trip.
the cost is what, $225, and but still can participate in a fundraiser, is that correct?
Correct.
It's one day, I thought, I checked in, it's a Wednesday, I think, if I'm correct.
I
April
believe
8th.
so, yes.
You
They would
just-
have to be in good standing, which I
Right.
think Mr. Page or Ms. Ford outlines in her letter.
I'll make a motion to approve the music department field trip for Wednesday, April 8th, 2020.
Motion has been made and seconded by someone.
Second.
This must be misprint in Dr. Flanagan's letter, $655 per student. I can't-
That was the original trip.
I think that's
Oh,
the
okay.
original trip,
Yeah, that much,
This
huh?
one, it says it on.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's-
I didn't see it on
yeah,
the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, motion being made and seconded.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That carries 5-0.
Thank you. Next item, this is hopefully a capturing of all the different things we had discussed during our professional development, setting school committee goals. You have still the broad categories of fiscal management and budget, capital planning, educational program and curriculum, and then community relations. And then, if you remember, during that professional development, we were looking at revising action steps. And so, under fiscal management, we want to take a more focused look at what recommendations may be coming out of the Diversity and Equity Steering Committee this year. We're working with the Center for Leadership in Educational Equity. We have our next meeting with them actually this Thursday. And so I think within the next few weeks or months, we should have some action plans that we can start to bring back to the full committee. And so it's looking at, as we build our FY21 budget, are we able to incorporate within that budget the support for these action steps? And then also resubmitting or taking a look at increasing the stipend for school committee members. Under capital planning, making sure that we've revised our 5-year plan, which you have done and sent on to the town manager, and then making sure that as we meet with the town manager, that we're discussing and emphasizing the prioritized list that the school committee reviewed, and providing any detail, as well as building relations with both town council and town manager. Moving into educational program and curriculum, action steps there is one of which we took early on in the fall, is each of the school committee members adopted a school and are connecting with that building's administration and faculty, and hopefully have the opportunity to visit a few times, and would love to have you be part of both the mid-cycle presentation and the end-of-the-year presentation for that individual school. Then we also want to take a look at one of the initiatives that we have going district-wide, regarding formative assessment. We've had common assessments and that best practice in place for a while, but we're looking at how do we do that more efficiently, quicker hitting, and use formative assessment as a way more consistently to see where our students at this moment in time and not wait to, say, the end of the unit or the mid-year exams. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second.
One-to-one?
Yep. I want to take a look at the one-to-one program and make sure that, that we're seeing not only it be utilized in the best way possible to support our classrooms and our students, but also see where we might be able to support it with different professional development, not only this year, but in years to come. And then we're also looking at increasing the curriculum renewal line item, which right now is a line item of about $100,000, and we would like to see it in the next budget increased by $50,000.
This is the carryover from 2 years now, right? This is the
Correct.
third year
Yeah.
we're asking for it,
Yeah.
is it not?
Yes.
Yep.
1 year we got
We got
a one-time.
Oh, that was a
one-time,
one-time,
yeah,
Right.
the AP program.
But
yeah.
it didn't become part of our permanent budget. And then finally, the last area is community relations. And here our action steps are to build, continue to build relationships with town council. As you know, there are new members on the town council, as well as a new town manager. Not only welcome her, but start to build up a strong working relationship with her. Increase community engagement at schools. We've actually had a pretty good fall where we're having events, but you'll see more events through the winter and the spring. But in those events, we'd like to have the opportunity not only for our students to present some of the great things they're doing, but also show and let our parents engage in some of the activities that we're starting to use in our classrooms. And actually, one's coming up this Thursday evening at Meadowbrook. We have our Equity and Diversity Steering Committee, but if you're not at the Equity and Diversity Steering Committee, Meadowbrook's a good place to be. So there'll be some really unique things, I think, being shared for the parents and the families.
Gordon, not to interrupt you, but on that action step number 2, should it say something that's more specific regarding families visiting schools as opposed to displaying student work?
Sure, I mean, I think we can, that's what this is for, absolutely,
Okay.
to
So just
revise and
maybe-
and finalize.
Increasing community engagement at schools through, like, greater opportunities for families to visit schools or something along those lines, rather than just the displaying of student work.
Do you want to say increased opportunities for families to visit schools?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. Increase opportunities for families to visit schools.
For families to visit schools. Okay. And then finally, one of the things that we'll probably be doing a few times this year in a variety of ways is just providing more information to not only ELPS families, but the community at large on what is the Mass School Building Authority eligibility period. And I probably can't get this out enough, because this will be one thing that I think will be challenging for people to understand, is I believe 11 districts were invited into the eligibility period, and the Mass School Building Authority scaffolds when your 270-day period begins. So ours officially begins June 1st. We did have a conversation with Elena Setti, I believe
Yes,
her last name is,
sounds good.
Setti. She's our new liaison. And she was walking us through some of the components, and I'll be able to give more information, and I'll put together a full informational packet for all of you regarding what we're looking at, what that means. Is right now, we're in sort of a transitional period. We're not officially on the clock. And one of the things that she said in our phone conversation was, don't hand in anything
Do not.
before June 1st.
Okay.
So I think that will be a piece that we'll have to, make sure that we're all understanding and communicating well to town council and the community at large. It's not that we're sitting on our hands doing nothing, it's that we are not on the clock, so to speak. And they don't want, I'll give you one element that is part of this eligibility period. we have to provide them through the portal, which is not even open to me yet, what our educational programs look like and where we may be going in the future and so forth. Even if they open, which I think they will, that portal before June 1st, I can't submit it before June 1st. So, anyway, that's fine, but I think we just have to continue to get that information out so people aren't feeling like, oh, we got this invitation and
Right,
nothing's
yeah,
Now
happening.
we're not doing it.
And that's true of a lot of their different processes, is that you get in, and then there's a period where they're giving the community time to get certain things accomplished.
Are there any upcoming meetings that we should plan on attending?
I don't think before, the feeling I was getting is, in our conversation, is that we're not going to be doing much with them other than if we have questions until that clock starts ticking
Okay.
on June 1st.
right.
I think we'll get that educational programming profile sometime in the near future. There was one
Here's
other
the,
item. Thank you.
schedule, you're welcome.
Thanks. They may give us a look at, this is all through their portals, an online enrollment projection, which will be key to moving into that feasibility study, you know, we've given them enrollment projections the last 5 years. This is now one that they'll validate and say, okay, as you go into the feasibility study, these are the numbers we're going to put in as projection, and therefore we're looking at a project that will handle this many students. The other thing we might get an early look at will be the maintenance and capital planning information. Again, that will be, as far as I understood it, delivered through the portal. And we've done something similar with the 2 accelerated repair programs and projects at Meadowbrook. This might be a little bit more detailed, but I think it will be somewhat similar.
So they've given us a nice list here that Mr. Smith is looking at. We're 30 days after the, is it July 1st, Gordon? I don't want to say the wrong date.
July 1st.
July 1st. 30 days,
June
something
1st is when we
due.
start, July
June.
1st is when it's due.
Okay, and then something else is 60 days later, the 90 days. So, but again, nothing. They don't want anything from us until after our eligibility period begins, our date.
Which would include the vote to authorize the money for the feasibility study,
After that,
after June 1st,
from council, town council.
from council, correct.
I think these are things you need to keep the town man, sit down with the town manager.
Figured we
and-
would start with the town
That's right.
manager
Yeah.
and start to explain this, and then seek her assistance in terms of what would be best in terms of presentations to the town council.
Yeah.
We are meeting with her later this week.
Thank you.
Okay,
And then we'll also offer the tour and so forth.
oh, yeah,
Excellent.
That won't happen this week, but we'll offer it. So let's schedule something.
okay. Sounds like a plan.
Great, we should accept the goals of the school committee.
With the revision.
Right, yeah.
I make a motion to accept the school committee goals for 2019-2020 school year with one revision.
Thank you. Motion has been made and
Second?
seconded. Further discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That is unanimous.
I'll make the revision, and then I'll put those into the shared folder.
Okay,
Thanks, Gordon.
thank you.
Okay.
And the last item on the agenda, budget development timeline.
So this is a document which I give to you.
Yeah. Very familiar.
You don't have to show so much excitement there, Mr. Patero. I give to you each year.
The numbers change.
There are elements that are tentative, because we're not entirely sure as to what the town council's budget process may look like. But we are, as you know from the first few paragraphs, into our budget planning. We will continue that with the leadership team this week. And hopefully, we will have our budget requests to all of you at the next school committee meeting. And then we can start scheduling meetings, both with the town manager and finance director, as well as setting up official meetings with the town council.
My understanding is they're going to use that subcommittee again.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there have been a few changes on it, but they are going to use it.
Changes in people?
The main two are the same,
Roger Song.
Roderick and Sonia, but the town council representation has changed from my understanding.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, that's
We've
it.
reached the end of our meeting this evening. From LCAT, Kelly Glover, thank you, Kelly. And Sophia, thanks for being here tonight. And I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion has been made
Second?
and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That motion carries 5-0. We are adjourned 6:55. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good job.